Hey everyone,
Welcome back.
here we are. You're here, we're here. Let's have a look at this.
We're going to put some composure stuff on if we can. I don't know that we have much composure stuff.
Yeah.
That's -1.
So it's yellow anyway.
Which I like. It's like we get those shoes on and we're just like, we're losing the plot.
Completely loose. Yeah. But
We've got tea.
Yes, we do have tea.
Oh.
Oi. So we have at least one, and we can make sure we don't have any negatives as usual.
Yeah.
So,
+1.
which means we already had one on, and it was already difficult. So
Yeah, it was only
impossible.
3%. This
Negative
is
one.
minus. Just go in there with no pants on. See if he still thinks that we're a high net worth individual.
You never know.
I don't know what to put on instead. Just
What are our options? They're just the one other pair of pants we have?
yeah, I mean we can put on the trousers of nothing.
Yeah.
Trousers of nothing?
Let's do it.
Oh.
Oh, grim. And that's it. We've got nothing else. Nothing else is negative.
Thing
Okay, nice.
I've done this side. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, let's see what that check looks like so we know
Okay.
what we're up against. Yeah.
Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
Still 3%.
It's still 3. That's interesting. It didn't have any effect on it at all.
It didn't. Conceptualization 4, 3%.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, we're not doing that right now.
We don't have the thing we're researching doesn't have a negative to that, does it?
It may do. We've got some negatives happening in our thoughts.
Colder Mama Dakwa? Temporary research. Oh, no, none. Okay, so
This
alright.
had some, but I guess it's okay
It's all
now.
done.
So my question is, can we click the Wasteland of Reality?
Do we have enough points?
Yes, just. Have to open a slot.
Do we have enough if we open a slot? Because it costs us to open a slot.
Yeah.
How
We've
many
got 2
have we
points.
And it costs us,
1 to open a slot.
and then 1 to put it in?
I don't think it costs 1 to put it in. I think we can. So we'll save that last point for opening white checks.
Shall we? Yeah, shall we? Okay. I was going to say leave them both, but if you want to get that gone, that's fine.
Thank you.
We do each. So -2 to physical instrument and whatever insomnia is. Maybe we shouldn't have done this just before nighttime.
We've got a whole day.
Okay.
We've got heaps of time. It is going to take 20 hours though, so
What if we
It will
can't sleep
happen
for
over the
20
night.
hours?
but I feel like I'm on this quest to dry Harry out. That is taking no part in whatsoever.
No.
Which is fine. You don't have to take part in my quest. But so long as you're happy for me to do said quest.
We're going to go to the bookstore? Bookstore.
So many things to do. And maybe we can talk to the wife as we're going to the bookstore.
Shit.
I don't know, like that hasn't come up with anything.
To do. Can we? Oh, because we meant to call it in. We called it in, right? Let's check that quest. Do we want to talk to Kim? We've done a few things. I wonder if he's got something to say to us.
He may do. 1 second. I'll just get us down to the... Still no hint of where the lady driver might be.
Yes?
Okay, no, that's fine. I just thought he might have some more.
Maybe we'll do a debrief with him at the end of the day. I could have sworn we did the... I thought we'd done that too.
Dead body on the boardwalk is what we want to talk. Okay, so call Jamrock Public Library. We can do that now. Let's do that now.
I thought we'd done that, but obviously I'm just hallucinating at this point.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers,
Yes.
a radio microphone, a pull.
This is
Radio.
1657. How may I assist you?
Yeah, see?
Yeah, we had, but we tried it out of hours.
Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2.
She's so efficient.
Nice.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here.
Great
How can I
fit.
help you, officer?
I'm looking for any information you can provide me on Billy Mejean, a reader.
Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment. I'll have to check our database.
Okay.
I mean, you should confirm that I'm a real... Oh, well, I guess she did get a call from the...
Central.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an awful hold sound.
It is terrible.
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps, far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback.
Okay, so important thing that I had this realization about when we weren't even playing. It was like I was reading some comments or something the other day. There's no internet.
No.
There's no internet.
No.
But there's no internet.
No.
Like, I hadn't realized in the context of the world that there's no internet.
No.
Obviously, this was clear to Izza.
It's not steampunk, but it's a steampunky world.
I mean, yeah, I didn't really frame it that way in my mind because it's not steampunk.
No, but it's that.
Because there's a
sort of
car
thing.
and there's phones.
Yes. But it's not cars like we know them.
Yeah. Yes. There's no internet.
No.
There's no internet, you guys. Just in case you thought there was internet. There's no internet. And there's possibly no TV. We haven't seen a TV.
I don't know. It's all been about radio so far.
The
It
Pale
sounds-
driver talked about going to movies. Or something that sounded like movies.
She did, didn't she?
I guess.
Her name is, now that we know about the Pale, because we spoke to her before.
So
Anyway.
interesting, right? And Joyce told us that people who are exposed to the Pale a lot do tend to start to lose it a little bit, right? I guess the reason why I hadn't put the thing together about the internet is because this area is so poor, and so my brain was just classifying us as like, this is a super rundown area, and I hadn't really clicked that the technology is so different.
Right.
Because it's not like it's just the like, I feel like sometimes in steampunky type things, although I suppose to be steampunk, well, so what am I trying to say? I feel like a lot of the time in these sorts of things, it's just the equivalent technology we would have had at this time at a different time, right? Whereas this doesn't line up with our world at all.
No.
Because there was never a time where there were helicopter type things and no television.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
And presumably because of the Pale, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Amongst
This is one factor.
amongst other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, this is a really poor area, so it's like, how much is that influencing what we're seeing? Anyway, sorry.
Very cool. All right.
Derail. Even as I was starting to talk, I was like, I'm about to derail for 5 minutes. Sorry, everybody.
No, we're in it for this. Let's go.
Yes, hello. Are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address. Is that
Yes.
all right? No phone number, unfortunately.
Yeah, all right.
That's
Go
okay.
to it.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Yes, home address is fine.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in
It's real
Martinez, I
close.
believe.
Yes, it is.
Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
33B. Okay.
Do you have any other information on Billy Majon?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day.
Ooh. Do you know someone who was?
Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
You hear someone answer from afar.
Maurice, what? A woman yells. Then, yes, Okay, if it was the police, she starts explaining something.
Cool. That was challenging, but we still got it.
If it
Yes,
was the police.
it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Oh, is she Billy?
She must be Billy.
All right, I guess we'll go say hello to her then, eh?
Hang on. Be right back, fam. Okay. So Billy's husband. So our
had the
dead
card.
person is not Billy.
No.
Good. You have a name now.
The top one's good. So Billy Majon is a woman, not a man. How did your colleague know that it was her husband?
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
Do you know the husband's name?
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight.
Can Marie describe to me what the husband looks like?
Marie!
Get her on the phone. She's more useful.
She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him.
What was he wearing?
1 second.
Yeah, just put her on the fucking phone.
The librarian turns away from the phone again and relays the question.
Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
That's fair enough. Thank you. That's all from me. I have no other questions.
Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Okay.
Librarian hangs up and the call gets redirected back to the station with a soft click.
Oh, no, we
Anything
don't
else
need
you need
this.
from me?
No, thank you.
No, I'm done with the radio.
57, over and out.
Okay.
In the cabin, you see a
No.
Shush.
All right, let's go, because we're heading there anyway to get the book, so we may as well
Yeah.
speak to her.
Yeah. Unless we want to go up to the apartment first.
No, let's go speak with her.
Okay. Am I going the wrong way? I feel like
Because there's
I'm
no
going the
reason
wrong
for
way.
us to go
feel like
through
it's up
her
there.
apartment. It's not, we don't necessarily even know it's his. I mean, we're pretty sure they live together, but you know what I mean?
I think I have gone the wrong way. Yes, I have. Okay. It's interesting how, like, even though this is quite a small area, they managed to make it feel quite,
Expensive.
yeah, it's sort of like there's multiple ways to go and ways to get stuck on nothing and
Yeah. All right. This was obviously once.
she's not there anymore.
Oh, so maybe we do have to go to her apartment anyway. Should we get the book while we're here?
Yeah, don't know where it is. I don't know if it's in one of these.
Do we know what it's called?
Somebody just said that there's a book that's got information about the Pale.
Okay, let's
The
start with
display
her.
rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover.
Not this one.
Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyundai somewhere.
Okay.
Not that one.
This. Yep.
I feel like they may have said it was up the back,
A small
but
mountain of colourful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot
this
of
is...
shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Isn't this related to the game that the guys were making?
That's it.
Yeah. Maybe, like, not the same game, but, like, the
These
creature?
shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over. A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective books. Thrilling tales of spycraft and daring do.
Shall I come
Look
back to
through
this
the
one?
display of books.
Crime fiction is a disgrace.
Oh.
An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers.
Right.
These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends.
I mean, I feel like that's Kim's whole vibe
Furthermore,
right now.
they have no idea how hard it is to simply remove a body from a tree.
Yeah.
What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Sure thing. Oh God, no.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective, Dick.
Okay. Still not a pale book.
Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they.
I'll just
Check what the genre
This
is.
bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a
Paranatural
wide
literature?
range of paranatural literature. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias.
I'm going to just speed
W.
through this because we've
These
obviously
three
done it
things
before.
Are very important to the point of the book and many others on this shelf
Okay.
is to give people various paranatural books.
Yeah. Okay, what's that one in the back?
That's a map. We've looked
Several
at that
maps
before.
Yes,
have
we
been
have.
attached to a bulletin board hidden in. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map
We haven't
of
done the top one.
Insulinda. A map. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another, far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme.
Okay.
Ozon, Laurentide, Fas Alamir, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white, disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you.
Okay.
Radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol. With a radius of 80 kilometers, still, the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible.
Look at the edges.
Squint first.
Squint first. Can you see cities on the island?
You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vimandu, on archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas.
Okay.
850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of
That's a lot of
culture
people.
and commerce torn apart by history.
Now let's look at the edges.
The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara
What's an
is
azimuth?
the east
Nope,
azimuth.
don't know.
Seo is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called.
You gonna ask
Hey,
Google for me?
Hey Google. What is an azimuth?
According to Wikipedia, an azimuth is an angular measurement in a spherical coordinate system. More specifically, it is the horizontal angle from a cardinal direction, most commonly north.
Oh, so it's like the cardinal points of the
There you go.
Isola situation.
Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there.
Also, I just realised that we're looking for the pale book, but actually that's not what the person said. There's a book on the innocence
Oh yes, of course.
that explains.
That still would have got our attention.
850 million people
Yeah.
live on these tiny dots.
Okay,
And
cool.
Okay.
But that does influence what genre we're looking for.
Yeah, I'm gonna quickly hop outside and have a look in those.
Was the behind the lady? Was that no? Okay. Yeah, let's have a look.
Because I don't think we've interacted with these at all.
A book about Boyadero culture. It promotes freedom and roaming upstream. A book about the future. The government reads your mind using radio technology.
This book, you don't really understand what it's about, nor does it seem important. It takes willpower to even read the author's name, Jan Kraus. I didn't read the
From
last
Egg
bit.
something rather. This is a book about pate.
Great,
Alright, oh no, we're not done yet.
but these probably aren't going to give us what we need. On the cover stands a very muscular man surrounded by flames. It's Heimdall!
Yeah.
The Man from Hume and the Wildfire. She's really into that series.
This book has a rose, a pistol, and a half-naked dame on its cover.
Did we ever talk to this chick?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello again, sir. Are you interested in a new and exciting book this time?
No.
Well, we haven't asked her questions before. But let's...
Where was the one that had, like, famous people?
Oh, yeah. Was it down? I thought it was down here.
Was it? Which one?
I could be wrong. The middle.
This one?
Yeah, what's in the middle?
That had games, didn't it?
Oh, yes, it did. Was it the bottom?
I feel like it was the
A
one up
small
there.
mountain
Yeah, I think you're
of
probably
colourful board game boxes.
No, but
No, you'll be right. Yeah, it wasn't
that was the Hemdale one,
That's
right?
correct. You'll be right. I'll be upset.
Poor Kim. He's like, why are we here?
Romping around the bookstore.
Shelves full of biographies of
Yeah, there you go.
famous people, whoever they are.
Let's look through.
Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook.
Oh, it's by the book store owner.
Oh, what's it about?
High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history.
What
One
the
of
fuck
them
is that?
is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs
grim.
and cocaine into the other.
Oh no. Don't do that.
Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
Wait, why is he ruining cops' days?
I don't know.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long.
Okay, Plaisance.
Oh, she's Plaisance. Well, who's Cecilia?
I don't know.
I feel like that name we know.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
Storekeep, anything of note on this shelf?
I would say
Hey.
the
That's why
greatest innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
I was just laughing at the great. I don't need to know anymore. But what is an innocence?
A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education.
Do we? We have an
The
art
book
degree.
is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
I thought it was about which of these innocences is the coolest and greatest.
Perhaps for a layman, deep analysis is necessary to peel back the multi-layered meanings.
Do her words seem vague and abstract to you?
So you recommend it?
Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
You feel like you should get this one.
I imagine.
Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
Yeah, right. So-
Yeah. I'm interested in this book. Give it to
A
me.
true cultural touchstone. Enjoy the read.
Thanks,
And
Plaisance.
so we shall.
All right.
And hopefully now you'll stop bugging us about buying books when we're in your shop, because we've done it.
We did it. We did it.
Oh, we can also have a look at this thing that Everett gave us. Is Everett the right word?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm quite tired.
But
The
away.
Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego.
Great
The book
name.
is large and heavy.
Crack it open.
Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain.
That is the way with these things. Yes.
You can do it. It'll be worth it.
Just read
There's
the
something
introduction
here.
and the conclusion. It's gonna have 90% of the information you need.
Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes.
Yeah, sure, why
ready?
not?
I like that you can also say, oh god, no, get me out of here.
That's
Alright,
the
pop quiz,
spirit.
let's go.
Here we go. Question
I don't know
1.
any of this.
Who was the first innocence?
We have no idea.
Oh yeah. This is what I was made for.
Yes, encyclopedia.
I mean, you did just put a point in there, sir.
That's so. All right, go on.
Well,
give me
it's
all the hints.
definitely not Dolores Day because she was the most recent one.
Well, we're going with the top one because that's encyclopedia. We want to ask. Yes, that's so. Give me the hints you got.
A pop quiz is a short examination designed to test your knowledge.
Telling us what a pop quiz
It's you, encyclopedia. You fucked us over.
Such exams allow the teacher to assess how thoroughly the students have retained the material at hand. Voila. Now blast that first
Go
innocence.
fuck yourself, encyclopedia.
Thanks, Encyclopedia.
Thanks for nothing.
Yeah.
Dolores Day.
No,
Dolores.
no, that's not it.
Pain threshold.
It's interesting though that that's Pain telling us that. Sola?
Incorrect. Sola was anointed during the previous century and even lived to see the current one. She was an urban planner who spoke her mind and largely left history to its own devices, encouraging people to excel on their own rather than prescribing to a deified model of history. She is often called an anti-innocence.
Interesting.
Maybe Dolores was the first one. No,
I thought she
surely
was more
not.
recent, but we can look.
Sola resigned after an assassination attempt by a Yugo nationalist who blamed her for not taking the side of the left during the turn-of-the-century revolutions. Innocences don't usually resign. Care to try again?
Let's just say Dolores.
Okay. Interesting. She resigned, but aren't you just an innocent by nature? Dolores.
Incorrect. Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions. Among these, the moral intern, she was powerful and beautiful on all her icons.
And obviously, Harry has created a link between Dolores Day and his ex in his mind.
Yes.
Somebody pointed out that the woman that we called on the phone had a name that was a little bit similar to Dolores. It was like Dora or something like that.
Yes, it was.
So yeah, that's an interesting element too.
Her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the back of your throat, and it hurts. You see a flash silver, a wreath, an airport bag, and blonde hair. You don't know why. Another choice, perhaps? Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one.
What?
A strange sensation of loss. When she left the earth, the dust, and the ice, and the humans. That is unimportant to the quiz. Stop thinking about this.
Okay.
Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the mention of Dolores Day. Who was the first innocence? It wasn't Dolores Day.
The Pericanesian?
Correct.
Canesian?
Nothing much is known about him.
Oh, it's a
not even
dude.
clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum.
Aurum?
Aurum?
Hey, Google.
We're learning, our vocabulary is expanding through playing this game.
Hey, Google. What is Aurum? She does not know what I was saying. Aurum. Aurum.
Izza and I are both quite tired, but we do need to get back to the bestiality conversation.
Oh, no. Oh, it's struggling. You know, so are we. It's okay.
Friday night.
What is our...
It's been a big week.
Yes.
I'm interested whether that
It's gold.
gold standard is a way for people for measuring people's love for gold.
Arum, the Latin word for gold, and the source of its chemical symbol, Au. Oh, that makes sense.
The gold standard. Okay, so he's like, this is how much gold is worth based on people's love for it.
I guess so.
I'm really curious whether they know / whether the game has created the because we know that the we believe that the Dolores Day, her lungs glowed.
Mm.
So was his weird thing that literally gold poured out of his mouth, or is that just a metaphor?
Is that a metaphor? And was Dolores Days a metaphor potentially?
Maybe.
Or is some, or as usual, is this in this world? Is it all true?
Yeah, is everything a metaphor or not a metaphor at the same time?
As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party.
Interesting.
Question 2. Who was the strongest innocence?
The strongest.
Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody.
Sure,
Try again. Have you got my back, Encyclopedia?
An innocence is the highest category of historical personage in the world, a literal personification of history. Traditionally, an innocence, when anointed, assumes supreme rule over the Occident or the known world in general.
Okay.
At least the parts that matter.
Rude.
It's interesting how the way this game approaches lore is basically just chucks you in the deep end, with the slight benefit of the fact that at least Harry also knows nothing. And I feel like when we were first playing, it was just like they kept talking about like Isolas and governments, and like I was just like, I don't have any idea what's happening.
But we do now.
90% of the time, but now I feel like I don't know what's happening like 40% of the time.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, it'll be interesting how we feel by the end of the game.
Yes, so interesting, but I thought you'd give me the answer to the question. I didn't think it would.
I can do better. Okay, so commonly an innocence does not enforce his or her power through military power. This is seen as unnecessary. The innocence wins because an innocence can't help but win, for their deeds are inevitabilities. Did this help?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Great. Dolores.
I think in this case it might be Dolores because
Yes, but I want to say the others because it gives us extra information.
I was about to say that. It might be Dolores, and the reason I think that is because we know that she did do a whole lot of military stuff. So let's go through the other ones first. Vespa Messina.
Incorrect. Vespa Messina is not a person, but a defunct state on the southeastern coast of the Occident. It used to take up most of the peninsula before separating into the republics of Vespa and Messina. Care to try again?
Could it be Franco Negro?
Isn't that like a drink or something?
Correct.
No idea.
Named the innocence of militarism, he codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the Inter-Isolari Real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation.
The nation. I just realised I was thinking of a Negroni. I apologise.
Oh.
I'm sleepy.
Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission.
Okay.
But at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue.
Okay,
As if
and how's
that's
virtue measured?
ever been how nobility works.
Question 3. Who was the false innocence?
Ooh.
Got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. It's widespread historical information.
Okay, are you going to be helpful this time? I really could use a hint.
Yes, there exists a group called the founding party, known as the Holy Party, during the time of the Pericarnacian. This, the world's oldest international organization, spends its time in search of either the re-emergence of the innocents or new members.
Great.
Sigh heavily out loud.
Thanks.
There seems to be a mix-up with the sources. It's not my fault.
It is.
Encyclopedia, you've been so reliable until now.
At least it clearly wasn't Dolores Day. She wouldn't be false. She's beautiful.
I don't think she is false anyway, right?
No.
Who have
That's the
we...
information we were given about her anyway.
I don't think we've heard of these three.
So let's just click on them and see what happens.
Correct. There have been a number of counter or false innocences. Some assumed to have innocentic qualities. Some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen.
So the definition of what someone is as an innocent isn't necessarily clear-cut?
I guess not.
The most famous and important of these was Ernau Pasternak. He was into torture,
Oh dear.
despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra.
Oh, what's interesting here is our brain offered these all as options.
Ah.
So I wonder if, well,
We were
I
kind of
wonder if,
linking it all together.
yeah, it's kind of, you know, when you try and think of an answer for something. I was trying to do this earlier where I was trying to think of the name of a town, and my brain kept offering up similar names, and I knew it wasn't right. Like related.
Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4.
Dolores.
Who was the greatest innocence? The most important of them all. The most precious to humankind.
I actually don't know, but I assume
I
Dolores.
think
Got
that-
it. Honest.
Yeah, okay, it's like clear. Are you sure this time? I'll bite. Hint me.
Of course, this is my thing. The reason I exist in this world. The correct answer is Franco Negro.
Are you absolutely certain of this?
0 doubts.
Don't think so.
Yeah, I think it is Dolores Day, especially from Harry's perspective, right? Because he's still obsessed with his ex. But I'm going to ask at least this one.
Which we just got that last one that he was...
He was false.
Yeah, so he can't be the greatest.
And Franco Negro was the first?
No.
Is that... No, he was the
the
one...
most powerful. He was the strongest.
He was the strongest. Let's just say Dolores. then.
Okay.
Or do you want me to say the other
Nah,
ones?
because we've learned about them.
Correct. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence. A most radical change to the whole fabric of the world.
I really want her to have been an alien.
Everything from inter-esolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow and more beautiful.
That's how things happen.
Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and
Don't
your subsequent
calculate me.
grade have been calculated.
I just looked over and
Get.
you've got such tired eyes.
A C, vaguely passable. A solid effort with nothing much else to show. Nice going, mediocrity man.
Shut up. We only read that book like 5 seconds ago.
You would have done better if you just left Dolores Day for the end. Dial the Dolores Day down a bit.
Damn you, you arrogant book.
What's going on with you?
The lieutenant is jolted awake by your
He's
furious
asleep in his-
cursing. Were you asleep?
The book is unfair.
Okay.
He stares at you, his visage unflinching.
You are shouting at an inanimate object, like a real weirdo. No wonder you seem to have trouble with the right answers.
Put the book away.
Okay.
That was great.
I think I'm just going to quickly look at this because we haven't looked at it yet. Oh, actually, you know what? Fuck that shit. I'm too tired.
I'm out.
It's just like, no. Just the quietest little noise of please no in the background. Yeah, that whole episode was just that book. So, love to hear your theories. do you think Dolores Day was an alien? And how do you feel about the current Senate investigation into aliens? Do you think that aliens actually were discovered in the 40s, or do you think it's just some random ass guy saying he's a whistleblower but he actually knows shit?
Or third, which I've seen lots of people put forward, which is, this is just to get us all distracted from real problems. So, or something else. Or something else. Friends?
Option 4, other.
Please specify.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Go get your nap on.
Yeah, go to sleep.
We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.